Thank you for being a part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. I received a fascinating email from a listener named Joel. Here is Joel's email. Tom, you do good work, great radio, great relationship coaching skills, and you seem to be getting better and better at it all. There is intelligent life on Earth, and it listens to you. You demonstrate what a healthy ego can be, and I hear honest humility where it should be, too. Amazing. And the value of the show, Tom, if you stopped one unwanted child from being born by unwilling or unready parents who will only take their misery out on the kid and each other, you've done a world of good. But I'll bet you've prevented hundreds already, if not thousands. Remember that ex-Marine Mike who called in and told how miserable it was staying 20 years for the good of the child? I remember that call. Now, Joel has a topic idea, and here it is, and I'm going to run with it. Did your mother, you the listener, your mother, have you to entrap or keep your father? Of course, you'd have to have a pretty open relationship for your mother to admit that. Or your father would have to be pretty bitter to tell you. But I'm sure that has happened from time to time. Did your mother have you to entrap or keep your father, and how has your life been as a result of that? I think that's a great idea for a topic. First of all, I'd like to find out how you found out. And, yes, I'd like to know what happened as a result of it. We've talked about this on the air many times, about how women frequently have babies not because they want a baby or because they don't believe in abortion. That's why we developed the Hail Mary on this program. No. Many times women have babies to keep a man in a relationship maybe he's not committed to or doesn't want to be in. Or to get a man to be more serious about the particular woman. Okay? I'm having a baby, now do the right thing and marry me. And many times guys do. Sometimes guys don't, even though that was the purpose of getting pregnant. So Joel has a good idea. We're going to go with Joel's idea this hour. Did your mother have you to entrap or keep your father? And how has your life been as a result of that?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800. Tom.
Where are you based out of exactly?
I'm not giving you my address. I'm here in Southern California somewhere.
I don't want anything long-term, Tom. I'm just
really?
looking for a good time.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. All right, a topic idea sent in by a listener, which you can send in your own topic ideas if you have them. Just write to Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. If you got a good idea, we might use it. The hell. Joel writes in and suggests this topic. Did your mother have you to entrap or to try to keep your father? Maybe it didn't work, but that's why she had you. And how has that affected your life? Sam on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi. I was just going to say that, yeah, that happened to me. I was the last of 4, and my dad was going to leave, and my mom went ahead and got pregnant, and my dad went ahead and left anyway. And it's awful because you didn't really get a chance to, of course, have any kind of choice in the matter, and the guy is going to be who he's going to be, so you end up not really having a relationship with your dad, and you didn't get to, have any part in it. So I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. I think it's very selfish.
So how did you find out that that's what happened?
I'm sorry?
How did you find out that this is what went down?
I asked her because it seemed very suspicious as I got older that I was, 6 years after my sister was already 6, and I came, and then my dad left before I was even 6 months old, and so I asked, and I had to know, and she said, well, actually, yes. I wanted another baby, blah, 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 but yes, that was one of the reasons.
Uh-huh.
So, it's not fair, and I think that women can definitely learn from that the child suffers no matter what.
I don't think women care. I think women care about what they want for themselves. Frankly, I think everybody wants what's good for themselves, and I think most people do not give a second thought to the effect on other people.
It's awful. I'm glad that you're doing the work that you're doing, because if it can, like you said, stop anyone from having a baby, an unwanted baby, then the world will be a better place.
Thank you, Sam.
Can you blow me up?
Of course I can. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Keith on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, my man, how are you, buddy?
Hi, Keith.
Good. I just wanted to let you know, actually it was my father who decided to get my mother pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of have a kid that don't really know why, didn't make sense. Got a good adulthood now, but as a child it was pretty miserable. Parents weren't happy. They just kind of had me on a one-night stand drunken thing.
How did you find that out?
Oh, they tell me. Very honest.
How old were you when they told you that?
Oh, probably 8 or 9.
How did that affect you when you were 8 or 9?
Screwed me up. Had a bad childhood. My father was pretty abusive. He was in the Marines, so I guess he figured, I was his little private first class, kind of bossed me around, kind of the abusive father situation.
Mm-hmm.
But, and my mom didn't really care either way. She had me. They got married just because, when you have a kid, it's good just to get married. Good for the kid.
Well, at least that's what they used to believe back then.
Right, that's what they believed back then. Screwed me up. Took me till I was about 18, 19 to figure out, that was my life then, this is my life now, don't make the same mistakes, listen to your show all the time, know how to treat women, know what to do with them. I'm a very respectable gentleman, yes, but I do like to have my fun, and I don't ever see myself having kids or anything.
As a result
of what my father did.
Of course, you just never know what any woman will do to you, like maybe a woman like your mom.
Right. Yeah, very manipulative person. And even the girl I'm with now, very loving girlfriend, wants to have my kid, and I told her, I'm not ready for that. Can't blame it on my childhood, of course, but just told her, hey, I've seen the mistakes they've made. Like I said, listen to your show, know the traps that women can set, and ain't gonna fall for it.
Good for you. Great.
Hey, could you take me out bong hit?
All right, here you go. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Patricia on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, well, I just want to say that my mom got pregnant on purpose 40 years ago with my older sister, and she not only had 1 kid, but she had 7. And my dad wasn't in love with her, and I just recently found out that my dad told me I was never in love with your mom, and I'm the most miserable person on earth. So I felt pretty bad,
So your dad is still with your mom?
They're still together.
They're still together, but he's miserable.
He has other 5 kids with different women.
He has 5 kids with different women. How many do you have with your mother? 2?
7. So he has
He has 14 children?
Right, exactly.
So he kept seeing other women, but amazing how the same mistake keeps happening to your dad.
Right, he believes that the more women you have, the more men you are.
Yeah, but how about putting on a rubber once in a while?
Huh?
How about putting on a condom once in a while?
He doesn't like it, he says.
Yeah, but he likes paying child support for 14 children, huh?
Exactly, and it has affected us a lot because me personally, I don't really trust men. So, not everyone is the same, but I feel like he's going to end up doing the same thing.
Do you have a boyfriend or a husband?
Boyfriend. I've been engaged 4 times.
Oh, and then...
and I just say no at the last minute. I can't do it. It's hard.
Wow. And you grew up here in Orange County?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, I'm from Mexico.
Mm-hmm. And do your parents live here or in Mexico?
No, they live there.
Mm-hmm.
It happened there, everything that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that why you left for Orange County or other reasons?
No, I'm still here in Orange County. I live here, but...
So you've gotten engaged 4 times, and then you jump at the last minute every time?
Yes.
And you're probably going to do that again.
Exactly.
Does your boyfriend know that?
Probably.
Does he know your history?
Well, actually, yes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some therapy because I need it. I need to, you know. I can't keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be married and have a healthy marriage.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that my husband loves me before he marries me.
Yeah. I have a real problem. No knock on you, because you didn't create the situation.
Exactly.
But me as a guy, I don't know how you found 4 guys to marry you, because in my case, I get real nervous anytime a woman has some severe traumatic baggage. I've talked about this on the air before. I dated a woman once who was from a family of 14 children.
Oh, my God.
Okay. And turned out that when she was a child, and I didn't find this out till like, all right, now I'm deep in, and she's completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I find out that when she was a little girl, she was at a swimming pool.
Uh-huh.
And her dad, who was a well-known doctor in town, was there with her. And she was being yelled at or harassed or something by an adult male at the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So her father yelled at the guy to stop and to leave her alone, and the guy yelled back. So her father pulled out a gun and shot the other guy dead.
Wow.
Which as a little girl, she witnessed.
Wow.
And then her dad went to prison. And so her whole experience with her dad after that was visiting him in prison.
Oh.
No wonder she's insane.
That's horrible.
Yes.
Okay.
So, in your case, you have your own baggage, and this is what I tell guys. If you meet somebody with baggage, why would you get involved? I've done it, but I won't do it again.
Right.
And therapy, I've been through therapy. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I need to do that.
I've done it. A lot of people who go to therapy don't want to talk about it, don't want to tell. I'm not ashamed of it. I went 3 years of therapy, and it's one of the best things I ever did. It's good for me.
Great.
It will be good for you.
Right.
Probably better for you, because I don't have any problem like what you have.
Right. Okay, Tom, thank you.
I'm here to help.
Thanks.
Thanks for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Ian on the Tom Leykis Show.
What's up, Tom? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Ian.
All right. Long-time listener.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that my mom actually did fix the condom, and my dad did.
So she put a little pinprick in there or something?
Yeah, she did, and both of them even told me they stayed together, regardless. But my dad, he told me, he goes, I was done with your brother because they had one before me, was my brother and stuff, and he goes, I was done, but your mom wanted one, and she rigged the condom, and out you came.
Oh.
So, and as a result of that, me and my dad, we were never really, that close. When I was growing up, he passed away when I was 16 or something like that. I'm 26 now. But, we just never really close. He was always closer with my other brother than he was with me.
Because he didn't want any more kids?
Yeah.
Did you ever confront your mother about this?
Well, yeah, I did. I was like, that's kind of screwed up. When I was growing up, they didn't tell me. She didn't tell me until I was like 20 years old. But it was kind of messed up, It kind of affects you, when you find out that one wanted you and one didn't, stuff like that. So
yeah, amazing though how many people don't really care what the outcome will be. They only want what they want.
Yeah, it's amazing that some people can be selfish like that. And, I'll probably never, forgive her, for doing that. But, it makes me, watch out when I'm dating around and stuff like that, too, to, never use a woman's condoms that she's got, in her headboard. Always bring my own.
Yeah, that's the lesson. That's certainly you can learn some lessons from that.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out what you do these days. So
no doubt about it. Ian, thank you.
Hey, can you blow me up?
Of course I can. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Mike.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
You're like, my God.
Ooh.
This is great. I listen to you every day.
I love that.
There have been several topics that I've wanted to call in on, and I never get through. And this one hits home because, well, my mom died when I was young, but my dad, I grew up with him, and one day I used to work with him, and I'm at work one day, and their customer's standing around, and we're arguing, and he says, you know, I never even wanted you born. This was a ploy of your mom's, da-da-da-da-da, and I was just like, what? You're a pile of whatever. I'm not sure what I can say, but...
Crap.
Yeah, he is a pile of crap. I couldn't believe he said that. I just looked at him, and I was like, you know, and all my life I kind of felt like, you know, I was his own little slave, and you know, I had a sister, and she's still treated like gold. And me, it's just like, you know, I've had to do everything on my own, and that's, yeah, he throws it in my face to this day, and I just laugh at him because I don't talk to him much. And he
throws it in your face.
Yeah, you know, well, I never even wanted you born kind of deal. And it's like, you know what? Hey, I'm here, so deal with the facts, you know. I have 2 boys of my own, and I would never treat them that way, and I never have. And it's just, it's bad, it's wrong, but you know, it's messed up. You know, your mom wanted to have you to save our marriage. Well, it didn't work, but you know, it's messed up.
No doubt about it. Mike, thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking about a topic sent in by a listener named Joel. He wrote in and asked, did your mother have you in an effort to entrap or keep your father around? Maybe it worked. Maybe your father stayed around as a hostage. Maybe it didn't work. How has it affected your life as a result of that? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. More of your telephone calls are coming up.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yes, Tom.
Brian, we're on the air.
Okay. Just wanted to talk about this current topic here. My father just told me, I was back in, I'm thinking August or September, when we just got reunited, that he, in fact, was trapped by my mother. He stuck around for a couple years after. I was like 3 or 4 when they got divorced.
Yeah. How did you find out?
He told me. We just recently started talking just back in about August, and hadn't talked to him in several years, and I just kind of asked him. I said, I just really wanted to know why it is that you and Mom split up. You know, I said, Mom's told me all kinds of BS stories, and I just wanted to hear the truth. You know, I said, I'm 29 years old now. I think I deserve to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can handle it. And he told me that that's what it was.
And
I'm the youngest of 5. I got 4 sisters. There's 6 years between me and my youngest sister, almost 14 years between me and my oldest sister.
And were you able to handle the truth?
Yeah, I can handle it. My only issue is that I now see why I haven't, you know, I'm 29 years old, never been married, don't have any kids, never had a relationship last much longer than 6 months. And I kind of see why. I guess there's some kind of underlying antitrust in women or something, you know.
And what kind of marriage did your parents have?
Well, I mean, they had a good marriage from what my sisters tell me. I don't recall any of it. Like I said, I was only 3 or 4 years old when they passed away. Or, I'm sorry, when they divorced. And,
so they had a good marriage until your mother did this?
Yeah, I mean, basically that's, you know, my sister said, you know, they did the family vacations and all of that stuff, and, you know, then things started getting hectic in the mid-'70s, you know, financial crisis. You know, the economy wasn't doing real good all of a sudden, and between financial problems and my mom was trying to keep my dad around, and so she got pregnant. I mean, she'd been taking birth control and then quit taking it, and here I am.
Did you ever speak to your mother about this?
I have. She denies it.
Just flat out denies it?
flat out denies it. Yes. My mom's a different type of person. I got a strange relationship with her.
Good.
But that's a whole other topic.
Is this why?
Why?
Is this why?
Now, definitely. Now that I know, yeah. I would definitely say it is.
Wow. Wow. And so, where do you go from here?
I don't know. I got to tell you, Tom, I'm sick of being alone. But I don't know how to. I don't know if therapy would help me or not. I was raised in small towns. You know, I'm kind of your stereotypical small town boy. I really can't even believe I actually called your show, and then can't even believe I got through. But you know, it did hit home when you mentioned the topic. I happened to be driving through Dallas and listening to your show, and it hit home. And therapy is not something that people where I grew up in the small Midwestern town in Southern Illinois normally do, and you know, it's kind of backwards around there, you know.
Wow.
Kind of makes me feel like I'd be less of a man to go through therapy.
No, you know? Brian, I'm telling you, I consider myself as much of a man as anybody. And I did 3 years of therapy. It's the best thing I ever did.
I heard you make that comment on the radio.
I can't recommend it highly enough, and there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
I think marriage counseling is generally a waste of time. I generally think that kind of therapy is like what we call last exit before toll. But therapy for you, definitely worth doing.
Right.
And it makes you no less of a man. In fact, I think it takes a real man to look inside himself and to see what makes him tick. A lot of men are pussies, and they're afraid to look at that.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid.
I see your point.
I would highly recommend it, Brian.
I appreciate it, Tom.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Valerie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Valerie.
I'm really amazed at these parents that are telling their children. I understand that these kids are seeking the truth and stuff, but you know, they lied. These women, most of these women lied in order to have these kids. They need to lie to their kids and tell them, you know, that they were conceived out of love. And I'm 33 years old. I'm a single mom, and I made the mistake. But my son will never know that he wasn't wanted, or he was wanted, but I can't believe the audacity of these parents that are telling their kids that they were just little traps and they weren't wanted, and it's screwing people up. Well,
some of these people, as you're hearing, had parents who didn't get along, or they broke up for unknown reasons, or it wasn't apparent why they broke up or what the problem was, and people grow up, they want to know the truth.
I understand that, but I guess I'm just more appalled at the parents using the children to try to salvage marriages, and they're not. Well,
it's done all the time, because I have always said having a child is the most egotistical thing a person can do. Well, it is purely, but everybody who does it's purely for their own self-satisfaction.
Well, and I got married. I got pregnant from a guy that I was only dating, but I never wanted him. I wanted him to do what he wanted to do. Never did I push or force the issue of child support or visitation. The ball was in his court.
Yeah, well, why did you let yourself get pregnant?
Well, I actually was on the pill, and I was on antibiotics, so the antibiotics counteracted the birth control pills.
But didn't your doctor tell you the side effects of antibiotics?
Well, my pharmacist did, but...
You didn't pay attention?
No, I didn't.
Well, you let this happen.
I did let it happen,
and you let life wash over you like a tidal wave. You weren't really worried about what the consequences would be if your son ever found out what happened.
Well, but he's not going to ever feel like he wasn't wanted. I'm not going to make him feel like he was used as a means to trap
Well, he wasn't. Well, he wasn't. Well, he was an accident.
Right. He was an accident. But I'm not going to. I guess I'm not going to use those words. I mean, things happen for reasons. I'm a firm believer in that. And
You do?
yeah, I mean, I do believe that things happen for reasons. Whether
What reason do you think this might be?
it's made me grow up a lot. Yeah, I went back to college and kind of got myself straight back together. And
Of course, it's all good for you. Very little in it for your son, is there?
well, I'm doing things for he and I both. But I never. I guess my point is, I didn't have him to get a man to trap a man or to save a relationship, and I guess that's what I'm appalled at, these women who think that just by having a baby, because having a baby is hard work. I mean, you're raising another human being, and they're not realizing the damage that they're doing if they're telling them that or using them to trap a man or save a marriage. It's just, I don't understand women sometimes.
Now, you and me both, Valerie?
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You want to hear my favorite lunch?
What's that?
It's a can of tuna fish with a pickle and a couple of saltines.
Really?
Yeah.
When I hear about tuna fish or the pickle, I get other images.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Did your mother have you to entrap or try to keep your father? Maybe it didn't work, but how's that affected your life? It's Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello? Mike?
Yes. Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Did I wake you? I'm sorry.
No, I just, kind of often daydream when I listen to your show here driving down the road.
That's what we do to everybody, We just
I tell you what,
put them into a zone.
I'm a relatively new listener, but I'm intrigued. Every time I pass through the Baltimore area, I can pick you up on, I think it's 105.7. I managed to snag you in on.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, as far as your topic tonight, it's kind of a, it's interesting topic for me. It didn't happen to me, but my youngest half brother, my folks split up when I was relatively young, about 7 or so, and Dad got involved with another lady, and he was going to call it off, and all of a sudden she came up pregnant, and that later on turned out that's what the case was. And my youngest brother, when he found out, he was about 12, and it came out. He overheard a conversation my dad and I were having, and he jumped into it, and Dad kind of said, well, that's something you really need to ask your mother about. He said, it's my word against hers, but when he approached her about it, she confessed to it and said, yeah. She said he was going to leave, and I wanted him around. Oh. And at that point in time, he pretty much stopped having anything to do with his mother, moved in with my dad, and he's been with him ever since. And my dad's always tried to be there for him and everything, but, it was one of those deals that my dad said, I knew exactly what happened, and there was nothing I could do to change it. And all I could do was try to be there for your brother, and that's what he did. He did what he could, being the fact that they weren't together. But a divorced family is not a good family.
Wow.
So
how did that affect you?
Well, for me, it never made sense to me in the first place. I knew that I was old enough to know that the relationship he was in was going sour anyway. I was only, I was 12 when my little brother was born, and it's old enough to know that, well, let's see, when you're screaming and fighting every night, that's generally not a good sign. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden she turns up pregnant, and something didn't add up even then. At that point in time, I was young, but I was old enough to know that something didn't add up. And, like I said, he's always been good to my little brother, and now my little brother lives with him, and he's graduated college, or graduated high school. He's got an early acceptance to Georgia Tech, and he's turned into a real good kid.
And you?
Well, I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I had my dad wasn't around for the most part when I was young. Like I said, my folks split up when I was young. But, I look at it this way. I've never been to jail. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I take care of my family. I've got an 18-month-old little girl and a wife who I adore, and we've been together for 5 years, and I think I turned out all right.
Well, Mike, I'm glad to hear that anyway, and I thank you.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
There was a rule when we got married. Never mess around on me, never stop belating me, and never get fat.
Never stop belating me. Words I can live with.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. How's it going?
Do you care, Mike?
Yes, I truly do, Tom.
I'm doing great.
Right on. Hey, topic kind of hit home for me. My folks were actually separated. My dad had moved out. He came back to get some of his stuff, and my mom said, "Oh, I'm pregnant." She was pregnant with me. They got back together and stayed together for like another 6-7 years after that.
I am always amazed how many men are on the way out the door, but will take one last bang before they split.
Yeah, something like that.
I think that's a very bad idea.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, they wasted another 6-7 years of their lives together. They could have done something else with.
Wow. And so how did you find this out?
Well, when I got older, I kind of put 2 and 2 together, So kind of put 2 and 2 together when I got older, when I heard stories from both of them, about how, why they got divorced and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, indeedy. So,
wow.
But yeah, my dad was already gone out the door, was just coming to get some last stuff, and she said, "Oh, I'm pregnant with you." So they waited another 6-7 years.
And what did your mom say when you talked to her about it?
She says yes, it happened and stuff. It wasn't planned. I was quote an accident. I kind of honestly in the back of my mind wondered if I'm even, if she, screwed somebody else, maybe possibly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, is that really your dad?
I think so. I mean, there's enough resemblance there, you know what I'm saying, that I would bet money on it, but I'm not 100% certain. You can't be in a situation like that, unless you got a DNA test or something like that.
Maybe you look like the pool boy or something.
No, there's enough resemblance there. I'm like, 90% sure, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a doubt in the back of your
There's always that DNA test, baby.
Nah, I think at this point in my life, I'd rather not know.
Okay. Just checking.
So.
All right, well, Mike, thank you for that story.
You betcha. Hey, can you take me out with a bong hit since I've never had one?
Here I go.
Thank you, Tom.
Artie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Artie.
I got a story that'll just blow your mind.
All right.
What happened to my family. My dad wanted 2 kids, and after he had the first 2, he told my mom she had to go back to work, and she didn't want to, so she just kept having kids. And then one day me, the 3 youngest of us kids, overheard an argument between my mom and my dad, and that's how we found out that she didn't want the last 3, or my dad didn't want the last 3 of us, and it just weirded my little sister out just totally. She just got all messed up on drugs and et cetera, and then she convinced her boyfriend, which is also a big druggie, to basically off my dad, and then about a year later, he killed my dad.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty screwed up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How did that affect your family?
Basically, we just kind of disowned my mom, and I was 18 at the time that it happened. So we couldn't, we were all in therapy, but it just screwed everything up, man. You just can't have kids when you don't want them, because sometimes stuff like that happens.
That's enough to make anybody think twice before doing something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's all because my mom didn't want to go back to work, so she wanted to have more kids. The only way my dad wouldn't let her, said go back to work, and then she basically didn't, use protection, had another kid, and he's like, you gotta go back to work. And once you get out of elementary school, and then she had another kid, and finally she had my little sister. My little sister just... By the way, where's your sister now? She's in a mental institution now, actually. She just got so effed up on drugs.
And her boyfriend?
And her boyfriend's in jail.
For how long? 6 months?
No, he got 15 years.
for killing someone.
5 more years left.
Well, why the downside of living in California? What could I say, Artie? Thanks for telling us that story.
The Tom Leykis Show.